Hey, welcome back to Riley's Library's 12 Days of Bookmas. Today I'm ranking all the Colleen Hoover books I have read. I have an empty spot because I'm going to stack them up from worst to best. So we'll start with the ones I like the least and work our way up from there. Okay, and I'm going to do this without spoilers, but the one I like the least is Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. I think I give this 2.5 stars. So we're going to start that one right there on the bottom. Okay. I don't want to say what the main trope is, but the main trope in this book is one that gives me the ick, and I just will never be able to get behind it, and so it just made me uncomfortable, and I felt nothing for the main characters. So that one is going on the bottom. Then the next is the novella, Maybe Not. Again, there was no substance to this, and I did not care about it. I just forced myself to read it. And I did finish this series, so Maybe Not is the next one. It's going right here. This was better because it was more than just the main two characters from Maybe Someday. It had other characters in it as well, and so I did appreciate that because I liked reading about Maggie and can't remember what his name is. I think it's Jake, but I may be wrong, but I know her name is Maggie. I liked their parts of it. So there's that. Next up is one that I was not really sure about where to put it, and I'm still kind of confused. I'm basically, for the next one, stuck between All Your Perfects or Without Merit. And I think I'm going to put it as Without Merit. So Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. I did not like this book. I gave it 3 stars. But there were things in it that me personally was like not really comfortable with the way that they talked about it. And it wasn't like my favorite. Yeah. It was very weird. Like, I was very confused that I was reading a Colleen Hoover book when I was reading that book. So Without Merit goes next. The next one is going to be All Your Perfects because I was kind of struggling between the two of them. This is one of her better books, I will say. I don't know, just it was a little uncomfy to read about because it was kind of just depressing. Like, it literally just made me sad. Not sad in a good way. It was sad in a like, this is literally just depressing. So there we go. Next, we have Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. I actually really liked this book. This one is very beachy. It's more on the YA side of things. We've got some family trauma going on. So that's going to go above All Your Perfects. It was a very, I think I read it in like less than 24 hours. I sat down and read it in a day. And I really like Heartbones. The next one is Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. I was debating whether or not I wanted to put Heartbones above or below this, but I really liked Regretting You, and I think it has a more entertaining plot than Heartbones, and it's got a pretty good plot twist, so I'm gonna put that there. Okay, the next one, I feel like people are going to be confused as to why I'm putting this here, but I am. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I just cannot get behind the fact that this was a money grab, okay? So it puts it lower. I still rated it 5 stars, but like it just, I feel like it shouldn't have been written. So there's that. So we're putting It Starts With Us here because I feel like there didn't need to be another It Ends With Us, okay? Next we have November 9th, which again I was kind of conflicted about if I wanted It Starts With Us to go above November 9th or not, because I do like low-key hate Ben. Their relationship would not last past the epilogue, I'm sure. But the plot twist, and there is a little crossover in this. If you've read her books, you know what I'm talking about. And so that made me squeal like a little girl. So it's going there. Next we have Layla by Colleen Hoover. I actually really enjoyed this book. It's like a paranormal romance, kind of. Like, there's paranormal stuff in it, and I thought it was super interesting. It's a little weird. Like, the content is a little weird, but I really liked this book. So there we go. Next up we have Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I sobbed my eyes out, but there are some things in this book that also just make me uncomfy, and it was like kind of hard to get past the plot twist. Next we have Verity by Colleen Hoover, which I know everyone is obsessed over. It's the only video on my YouTube channel that everyone seems to want to continue to comment on and view, but I still really like this book. It is really psycho behavior in this book, but I'm gonna put it right here because I do like other Colleen Hoover books better, but it is in my top 3 because I only have 2 more that I have read. The next one is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I know, I only have 2 left and this isn't at the very top. But I am obsessed with this book. This is the first Colleen Hoover book I ever read. Love it. 10 out of 10. I think it should have been left the way that it was. And it's a great book, okay? And then in number 1 spot, we have Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This is her newest book. And well, not really, because it starts with us in the Verity bonus chapter. But this is her newest, like, standalone. And I sobbed. I loved this book. It was so good. It's my favorite Colleen Hoover book, so it's going at the very, very top. So, I'm going to zoom you in so you can look at my stack, and that is how I feel about Colleen Hoover books. Okay, so here it is. We're going to go over my final rankings. So at the bottom we have Maybe Someday, Maybe Not, Maybe Now, Without Merit, All Your Perfects, Heartbones, Regretting You, It Starts With Us, November 9th, Layla, Ugly Love, Verity, It Ends With Us, and my number 1 being Reminders of Him. I am planning on reading all of Colleen Hoover's books, so I am still working on some back lists with her, but I mean, I have read a good chunk of her books, and this is my own personal opinion. If you do not agree with me, that is okay. Maybe put your ranking down below of how you would rank these books, but it's okay for us not to agree, because one of my best friends loves Maybe Someday, like loves these books. It's some of her favorites and they're my least favorites, and she was very upset when I told her I didn't like them, so there's that. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's kind of a short one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.